Recently, I've talked a lot about breeding my goats. So today I'm going to give you the full rundown of what I'm going to do. So out of my 4 goats, I was going to be breeding 2 of them. Or at least that was the plan. So obviously I can't breed Henry or Oscar because they're both weather goats. But Phoebe and Maya obviously can have kids, and that was the original plan until we had a couple of issues with Maya we'll kind of address later on. So today we're going to be focusing a lot on Phoebe, as I think she's just an incredible goat and have some really good kids. Now I was also going to breed Maya, but her issues with her teeth means I won't be doing this anymore, which is a real shame because she's such a lovely goat. Now I really like Phoebe because she's got a really good build and she's also really calm and friendly, and I'm really hoping her kids will be like that. And regarding Maya's problems, her teeth are a bit funny, so I don't really want to breed her because I don't want that happening to the kids. Now I do have a full video about Maya and her problems with her teeth on my channel, so check that out after this. Now I don't want Phoebe to be on her own with a billy goat, so it's looking like we might need to get some more goats, which obviously is pretty cool, but I don't want to rush into that sort of thing because I want to make sure I get the right goats and make sure I'm ready for them. Now this time could also give Maya's teeth a chance to get better. Now I think that's unlikely, but you never know, it could happen. Now to get ready for more goats, there are a couple of smaller things I need to do, as well as one bigger project, and that is their new goat field which is going in this area. Now there is plenty of space in here for 2 more adult goats, but I want to give them some extra space so they can get away from the 4 I've already got, and it gives more land for grazing because over a 4-month period with 6 adult goats, this place would be overgrazed and there would just be nothing left. Now before the field gets done, I also need to finish working on this climbing frame, build another hay feeder just like this, and do a couple of other smaller, cooler things. For the next part, I want to go over how I'm going to be breeding the goats and where. We will be using Phoebe and Maya in this example, just to make things clear. So in the new field that's going over there, Phoebe and Maya, for example, will be going in there with a billy goat. And Henry and Oscar will just stay in their normal field here, so they're kind of just out of the way, as I want to use a small billy goat to breed the girls. Now I need Henry to be separate because in any sort of headbutting match, Henry will just win any day of the week because he's so big and strong. So I just need him out of the way from the smaller billy goat so he can do his thing, and then yeah, Henry and Oscar just won't mess things up. So the girls are going to be with the billy goat in the separate field for about a month or so, and then they can go back with Henry and Oscar for, I think, probably like 2.5 months, because then I need to separate them again and feed them some slightly different foods so they have enough nutrients and minerals to produce kids that are healthy and will be good once they're born. Then the plan is to keep Henry and Oscar in their field and the girls in their field for 3 months or so after the kids are born, but this may change depending on how well the kids are growing. So after the 3 months, the girls will go back in with Henry and Oscar, and the kids will stay in the field over there for 2 weeks so they can be weaned off, and then we'll decide what we do with them, whether we sell them or keep them. Now I've kind of already decided what we're going to be doing with the kids, so all the billy kids we get at about, I think it's a month old, will be castrated, so they're weather goats, and then they'll get sold off pretty much as soon as they've been weaned from the parents, probably, because I don't really need to keep more weathers. I've got Henry and Oscar already, they're great, but I don't need any more. But for any nanny kids we get, we'll use those for breeding in the future. Yesterday I made a YouTube short kind of focusing in on what I was actually going to do for breeding the goats. So I gave 2 options. First of all, just buying the new goats like I've said earlier on, or what would happen if we did breed Maya, as I wanted to see what people thought, because a lot of people that follow me do have goats and actually have bred goats before. Now it was very interesting what people had to say. A lot of people said I should actually just keep Maya and keep her as a pet, which I probably will do because I really want to. And that kind of leads me on to breeding Phoebe, right? Because a lot of people said I could just get Maya spayed, right? So she can go with Phoebe but then just doesn't have the kids. Yeah, I could do. It's quite an expensive thing to do, and also having her in the field once she's been spayed, making sure her wound like heals properly is a bit difficult because she does like to jump off the climbing frame and run around, which obviously could cause any stitching to come out. So what I've decided I'll do instead is actually just get a goat the same age as Phoebe and Maya like I was going to do before, but this time only get 1 rather than 2, so I can still keep Maya and have space for that. So I mean Phoebe and the new goat would go with the billy goat, whilst Maya stayed with Henry and Oscar in here. And that would work well as the boys like Maya, and I do as well, and I think everybody who watches these videos really enjoys having her around, so I think it'd be good to keep her around so she's in more of the videos because everybody likes to see her. Now I do want to quickly go over why I want to breed the goats, as this is not something that I have to do, but it's something I really want to do. Now obviously having the 4 goats is really awesome and I really enjoyed just having the 4 of them, but I want to try breeding the goats because it's something new to try, right? And I'm kind of elevating my knowledge and kind of experience with the goats. Now one of the reasons why I'm making these videos is to kind of document my experience and see what's working with my goats, and also kind of reach out for advice, and that's why I made the YouTube short the other day about what I should do with the goats, because I want to see what other people think, because I know what I want to do, but I want to see if it's like the best thing or what other people recommend. As I want to go into this knowing as much as I can and having people that I can ask if something goes wrong or I need to know something. Now this isn't something I'm going to be doing like next week, for example. The billy goat's not coming until the end of November, but I want to be ready for this, so I can give the goats the best care through this process, and then also the kids once they're born. Now I understand breeding goats is not easy, there's a lot to it, and there are always things that could go wrong with like births, for example. I want to be as ready as I can for those because I also know I'm going to make mistakes with it, right? I know there'll be things that I do the first year that maybe I won't do the second year because they didn't work as well, or I could do this an easier way, but I just want to learn from the experience. I hope this gives some good context on why I'm breeding the goats and what I'm doing to get ready for it, because I've never done it before and I want to make sure I'm as ready as possible. So any feedback, any kind of tips or tricks, leave them in the comments. I'll be really appreciative of that. That would be a really big help. So we'll just see how it goes. I don't have to jump into any of this, which is good. I've got a few months to prepare to make sure I'm ready with the goats. I don't think I'll get rid of Maya because I love her so much. She's just a great goat and she's good on the videos. Just like Henry here, who can't stop licking my hand. Like, this is his thing, he just stands there and licks my hand for hours. Now in a month's time I want to do like a full update on the goat breeding situation, because at that point I want to have made some like big like leaps towards getting to the point of being ready to breed them. Now that video won't really be focused in on the goats or buying the new goat. I want to make sure their field's all fully ready to go until we get to that point. So we've got another climb frame just like that. Here, this is all done with the new hay feeder, that sort of thing, and the sheds are all sorted. So that's the thought process I have going into this, and I think it'd be really interesting to kind of see how it changes as we get closer to actually breeding the kids, and then comparing this to how we are next year after we've done it. But I would be grateful for any feedback on this because any help would be amazing. Now, something interesting I did the other day, I let the goats out of their field to graze on bushes and all sorts of shrubbery, and they loved it. So check out this video if you want to watch that.